Lucamus Prime here. So, it's time for another discussion video today, guys. Today I'm going to be discussing my favourite scenes from every live-action Terminator film. So this will be all 6 live-action Terminator movies. So yeah, we're going to discuss my favourite scene in the order of their release dates. So we're going to first of all begin with the first Terminator film from 1984 called The Terminator. And so, if you haven't seen my ranking video of the movies, guys, then, so for all of you who do not know, my favourite scene in the first Terminator movie has to definitely be the police station massacre. So yeah, starting from a scene where, you know, the Terminator walks in and says, you know, his infamous catchphrase being, "I'll be back." You know, and then walks up and he drives through and then he goes in and starts, you know, gunning everyone down. Like, that was such an amazing moment, really. Great action, I really loved it. Like, it was really fun to watch. I enjoyed it. And I also, and if you watch, like, the newly released version where they changed, like, the sound effects of the guns, because I believe in the original VHS version, they used, you know, like, Transformers G1 sound effects for the gun blasts. But they changed it, you know, to much better, realistic, you know, gun effects, which I like. And it holds up to this day, really, despite being released in the 80s. It's so great, yeah. So that's my favourite scene, guys, from the first Terminator movie. Now we get to my favourite Terminator movie ever, which to this day is still Terminator 2 Judgment Day from 1991. And yeah, so despite being, well, this year it'll be turning 30 years old, guys. And yeah, if all of you are wondering, this day, you know, is quite a special day to upload this video because today is the 12th of May, the same day in which the first Terminator arrived in the first Terminator movie, yeah, on May the 12th, 1984, so yeah. So yeah, Terminator 2 turns 30 years old. Wow, can't believe it, so yeah. Okay, so my favourite scene for a movie is really hard to say because, you know, this movie is what I consider a cinematic masterpiece, really. It's one of my favourite movies of all time, and it's really hard to say what my favourite scene is, so, okay. I'm probably going to go with the scene in the arcade where the T-1000 and the T-800 corner John Connor after he runs away into the corridor. And there's an epic fight scene. And then the entire motorcycle chase after that, like, oh man. Like, I remember when I first watched the movie, I was pretty young, and it was probably one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in my life. I really loved watching it when I was young. It was incredible. Like, one of the greatest moments in cinematic history, no doubt. I really loved it. And there's probably other great moments too that I could say is my favourite scene. But yeah, right now it's this scene. So yeah, the arcade chase and on the motorbike as well. That's my favourite scene in the movie, guys. And now, okay, now we go to the third Terminator movie, which is Terminator 3 Rise of Machines. Now, for all you don't know, I actually don't hate this movie. I actually really like Terminator 3 Rise of Machines, you know. I don't really have, you know, a lot of problems with Rise of Machines. I actually really enjoy it. I mean, is it as good as the first 2 movies? No, not by a long shot. But, for what it's worth, it is still really enjoyable. So, okay, my favourite scene in a movie, guys, I'm probably going to go with the scene where the T-850, which is Arnie's Terminator, for those you don't know, terminates the T-8X with, you know, its hydrogen fuel, so the last one it has left. And Arnie says, you know, "You are terminated." Because one thing I do love about that scene is I really love the makeup on Arnie, where they have the Terminator makeup on him, because it looked very, very, you know, realistic and definitely improving because, you know, special effects have improved since, you know, the 90s and the 80s, so yeah. I also as well love that line because it's a great little bit of a homage to Sarah Connor saying to, you know, saying to the first Terminator in the first film, you know, "You are terminated," yeah, before crushing it. So yeah, she does of course swear, but I'm not going to say, you know, because there could be children watching this. But yeah, I love that little homage to it, yeah. Okay, so that's Rise of Machines. Now we get to Salvation. Now, Salvation, again, I don't really hate this movie, but it's not really what I'd say my favourite Terminator movie, you know. I don't think it's terrible because it has lots of great moments, so. Now, a lot of people probably say their favourite scene is the Arnold Schwarzenegger CGI scene, but to be honest, you know, after rewatching that scene, to be honest, I don't really like it that much because I don't like how the Terminator did not, you know, kill John Connor, straight away he just threw him around because, he could have just, grabbed John and, snapped his neck, and that'll be it. His mission will be complete. John will be terminated. But, so that's why I'm not really a big fan of that scene, really. But my favourite scene in Salvation is probably when John Connor yells to General Ashdown, if we stay the course, we are dead. We are all dead. Because I think that was perfect acting by Christian Bale as John Connor. Like, you can tell how much he cares about saving Kyle Reese and saving, humanity. Because Kyle is, of course, the key, because he goes back in time to save Sarah from the first Terminator. So, yeah. I think Christian Bale was perfect in that scene. Like, that's why he's my favourite, adult version of John Connor. Most definitely. And, he played him so well in this movie, guys, Like, he's probably my favourite thing about Salvation, really. So that's my favourite scene in Salvation, guys, where John Connor yells to General Ashdown about if we stay the course, we are dead, we are all dead. Because I think it was amazing acting. Okay, now we get to Terminator Genesis. Now, while I do not like this movie, I consider it the worst Terminator movie, guys, I think it's terrible. I will say it does have a few, redeemable aspects of it, and one of them, I can say, which is my favourite scene, is definitely the entire recreation of the first Terminator movie's intro, where the first Terminator arrives at the observatory in Los Angeles. So, yeah, because I do love how they use the same camera angles and, like, and the same characters, being the truck driver and also the punks. I mean, they were played by different actors, yes, because of the fact that the original actors had either got older or passed away. But nonetheless, we did an amazing job recreating, with the same shots and, and the same, delivery as well, the lines, really. And the CGI where they replaced bodybuilder Brett Azar's face with Arnie's in post-production was great. And, very impressive CGI at the time. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that scene. And, of course, getting to see, older Arnie fighting his younger self, that was great as well. Definitely really fun to watch. So, yeah, I think that scene at the observatory was very well done, really. Like, I love how, they paid homage to the third film by using the same camera angles and the same, and the same characters, yeah. It was great, yeah. This also probably applied to Kyle's arrival in the film, even though it's of course, different because it's revealed that the copper who chases Kyle from the first film is actually the T-1000, this time played by Lee Byung-hun, so, yeah. But, yeah, to be honest, the observatory is probably my favourite scene in the movie. Okay, now we get to, of course, the latest Terminator movie, which came out in 2019, which is Terminator Dark Fate. So, with regards to Dark Fate, I don't really, hate this movie. It's my fourth favourite Terminator movie, but, I do have lots of major issues, which is why, I don't hate it like Genesis, I just, don't really like it, Like, I don't think it's as good as the first two films. And after seeing this movie, I also really do prefer Rise of the Machines over this movie as well. Despite not really being a big fan of Rise of the Machines as the first two films, I do like it more than Dark Fate, so. But, guys, my favourite scene in Dark Fate is probably when Sarah Connor makes her entrance, on the freeway, and she guns down the Rev 9 with her weapons. Because, that scene was, great for me because, Sarah Connor is one of my favourite characters, in the cinema history. And one of my favourite female action heroes of all time. And Linda Hamilton, I was very happy that she came back for a role, really, because, I feel like, Rise of Machines and Genesis were missing something because she was not in them. So her coming back, sort of fixed the damage in a way, kind of. Seeing her come back in her full glory as Sarah. And, that scene and her other scenes prove that she's still got it to this day, as Sarah. Even though she said that she probably doesn't want to return for a future film, yeah. So, yeah. But nonetheless, that scene was that scene was my favourite scene in Dark Fate, because she came back. I was very happy about that. There's probably, like, other good scenes I could probably mention, but, I just think this one was the best one for me, really, but I enjoyed watching the most, to be honest. Anyway, so, guys, this was me discussing my favourite scenes from every Terminator movie, from 1994 to 2019. So, drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, so be sure to leave in the comments what your favourite scene is from every Terminator movie as well. I'll tell you what your favourite scene is. Also, be sure to join Team Prime My Best and subscribe for more videos coming in the future. And hasta la vista, baby.